Now, some of you will look at this title and go, wait a minute, is that a reference to Trump derangement syndrome? It is. And while I like PewDiePie more, it fits. The term fits. PewDiePie derangement syndrome. It does fit. So I was sitting here thinking, wow, I need more views. Let me use PewDiePie's name for views, because that's like the only way you can ever talk about PewDiePie is using him for views, right? You can't actually have a thought about PewDiePie without it being for views or some shit like that. You know, whatever those fucking retards say. But it just fits. The PewDiePie derangement syndrome fits, particularly because of not just because of what happened recently, you know, with ER, which that whole situation disgusted me, because I'm thinking, you're now using someone else to vilify PewDiePie now. You couldn't get to him directly, so now you're gonna use another person, a sacrificial lamb, to make PewDiePie look like the bad guy that you want him to look like. Okay. You now you fighting dirty. Okay, time to sweep the leg, Johnny. I got you. And then it's going way back to the whole PewDiePie with the sign "Jews must die" or whatever, and and J.K. Rowling, you know, stuck her dumb face in the mix. And it seems like every time somebody talks shit about him, about Felix, it seems like they end up either muddying the waters in that particular situation, or they end up being fucked up later on in the year. Look at J.K. Rowling. When J.K. Rowling talked shit about PewDiePie with that whole thing, next thing you know, she's accusing Donald Trump of ignoring her kid. And then when they found out, no, he didn't ignore the kid. He actually shook the kid's hand and hugged him and whatever. She refused to acknowledge that shit, and I was like, oh, okay. You apologize to the kid, not to the person you initially accused. All right, I see you being petty. Okay, you're fucking irrelevant ass, making shitty books ass, fucking writing shitty movie ass motherfucker. Okay, I got you. Good job. Good luck with that next Harry Potter book, you fucking twat. And then the whole thing with PewDiePie saying the N-word. Now that's a whole other story. People say the context. The context was anger. He said it out of anger. I mean, I'm sorry, but he dropped a hard R N-word in anger. Like, I get it. I've said some shit out of anger too, but it's like you're saying context like he said it in a comedic context, like nigger. And so that's like, no, it's like the whole thing today, but like just a couple of days ago, people are now upset about this whole thing with Jerry Seinfeld, I think Ricky Gervais, Chris Rock, and Louis C.K. They're talking about the same nigger on their video. And by the way, this was like 7 years ago. No one cared about it until now, because that's where we are now. People are addicted to being offended. You know, it's like an addiction. We need to be offended. It's like a crack addict. They're like, oh, gotta be offended. I need tweets. I need old tweets. Something, anything. You know, they need anything. It's an addiction. You know, and there's no detox for them. That's the thing. Unfortunately, there is no detox, because you can find anything to be offended by. You know, baby, it's cold outside. That's offensive. That's offensive in date rape. No, it's not. You know, these guys talking about using the N-word in comedy. That's offensive. No, it's not. You know? And when he said the N-word, and PewDiePie said the N-word in his stream, though, you know, people like Sean Veneman from the Santos, I think it was called, who the company behind Firewatch, that looks like a walking sim. I don't know what that game is, but it doesn't look interesting to me at all. He tries to file a DMCA claim against PewDiePie's videos that uses his games, using footage from that guy's games. So basically, if he played Firewatch, he's gonna file a DMCA claim against that. This is why I hate the DMCA claim thing, and that's why I'm glad. I think it was dead. That whole thing is dead. That's why I'm glad it never went through, because the DMCA thing between Sean Veneman, you know, with the Canto Santos and Firewatch, between Brian Fasaggio and the whole diversity, him trying to take down diversity in comics with DMCA claims, Alex Maurer being one of the biggest offenders of this whole, you know, abusing the DMCA claim. DMCA DMCA claim is to protect your property from being stolen. It's there so that somebody doesn't take your stuff and claim it as their own, or steal it and claim it. You know what I mean? It's for protection of your intellectual property, your sounds, your video, your whatever it is. But people are now using it. It went from being a thing for protection of your property to using it as a weapon. I don't like this person, so I'm gonna file a DMCA claim against them. It's total abuse of that system. The same thing happened with Brian Visaggio, filing DMCA claims against Diversity in Comics. Not because he's stealing my stuff and I like to protect my content, but because I don't like that guy. You know, it's like it's amazing to me that these people do this stuff and see nothing wrong with it. You know, and there are people who will back them up. Like, are you serious? Don't back that up, because it'll happen to you eventually. It will happen to you. Then we go down to Fruzy 2. He was even talking shit about PewDiePie and his fans when that whole N-word situation came up. Next thing you know, he's sitting there outside of Drake's house, stalking the man and his family, and he's talking about, I'm outside your house, bro. I'm outside your house right now. Come see. I want to see you, man. Like, what the fuck kind of stalker shit are you on, dude? What is wrong with you? I mean, I'll give him a little bit of a pass though, because apparently he has bipolar. Is he bipolar? He has bipolar disorder or something like that. It's something wrong with him. I know that for a fact. So I know he's got mental issues. That is legitimate mental issues. Not like he's crazy because, you know, has an insult. I mean, he actually has a mental illness that causes him to do this shit. So that's whatever. But it's still, it's like people who talk shit about them, they end up fucking themselves up in the end. And then even now with the PewDiePie ER situation, some guy from the Young Turks is talking shit. He's like, oh, this guy, you can't, it's guilt by association, man. You can hold someone accountable by who they like, man. This motherfucker, this dude had this Jordan, what was that guy's name? God damn it, it was like Jordan something, not Jordan Peterson, the guy who, you know that guy who fucking got into that fighting pose and spin kicked this chick in the face? That guy, I forget his name, it's like Jordan Lyle or something, oh fuck. Jordan Hunt, I think his name was. Like that guy, he looks like that guy. And as he's talking shit, he's got Antifa propaganda all over his walls. I'm like, dude, can you really talk shit with all that shit on your wall right now? The point I'm trying to make is every time somebody goes after that man, they always muddy the waters in the end. Either they fuck themselves up or they muddy the waters. You see, like, this is a definite case of muddying up the waters. You know, Sean Veneman is just one part of that. You know, he's only muddying up the waters from a legal standpoint, because it's like, yeah, you're doing something illegal. You're not filing this claim system because I want to protect my stuff. I don't like the guy, so I'm gonna fuck him over by abusing this copyright system. Okay, go fuck yourself. But with this here, this is like completely, they're like grasping at straws at this point, you know, looking for a reason to go after the man. And I forgot another thing. The whole thing with Alinity. They try to say he was sexist because he went after Alinity, because people went after Alinity. There's no sexism. She fucked up. I don't think purely it's because, oh, she's a woman. She's a woman, so she gets a free pass. It's because they needed anything they could. They'll take whatever they can get to make that man look like a fucking a villain. They'll do whatever it takes, even if it's completely fucking dishonest. And again, that's them muddying up the water. To any smart, sane person, they go, yeah, no, that's bullshit. You're trying to say PewDiePie is a sexist, but that's not what happened. You know, and plus you're completely ignoring the fact that she abused the copyright system by filing a copyright strike on a man's channel just because he said a word she didn't like. And everyone else was cool with it, except for this broad. And she refuses to still, to this day, see that she did anything wrong. This fucking overrated cam girl. Go fuck yourself. And even here, now you're saying he's bad, because one of the channels he recommended was a neo-Nazi. It's run by a neo-Nazi, which, by the way, ER is not a neo-Nazi. He makes Nazi jokes, but it doesn't make him by definition a Nazi. He just makes the jokes about the shit. But and it's like, stop doing this to yourself. You're actually hurting yourself by doing this. At some point, and it's going to come to a point where if he actually does something really fucked up, that's really indefensible, that even to me, I'm just like, nah, Felix, that's nah, you took an L for that. You took an L for that. That's not good. Even then, when it comes to something like that, no one's gonna listen. Other people aren't gonna listen to the media, and they're gonna go, "Oh, we told you so." But it's like, nah, you said that like 3 times now, and you done fucked up. You done fucked yourselves over. You know, you said it like 3-4 times prior, and you either lied or you stretched the truth and jumped to conclusions in the process. Nah, you're good. We believe it. We now believe. Okay, this is fucked up what he did, but we don't hear from you. But I mean, I honestly think I think he's a good man. I think he's a good guy. You know, he does some dumb shit. That's obvious. That much is obvious. But I mean, to go to this level of reaching, just to vilify the person, is astounding. And it amazes me that there are people who legitimately like listen to this shit and actually go like, yeah, no, he's they're right. The news is right. They would never lie to me. Yeah, they lie quite a bit, especially when it comes to him. But yeah, I gotta say, man, the media needs to get over this dude. And Vox of all people, you would think Vox wouldn't even show their faces after that shitty MCU movie video where they were talking about why the MCU feels empty. And you would think they would never show their faces ever in life, ever again. But now here they are, just like, no, see, they're bad. PewDiePie is bad. You can't even make a decent video with a good counter argument. You know, I granted, some of those people who left dislikes were most likely MCU fanboys, possibly. But those idiots aside, it is a legitimately bad video, whether you like the MCU or not. It's legitimately bad. But regardless of all of that, I mean, the media, y'all gotta get off this shit now. It's over. You know, until he does something legitimately. I mean, are you so impatient that you're willing to lie just to make something out of nothing? Like, again, like the SJWs, they take nothing and turn it into something. They take nothing. That was a nothing thing that happened. And out of 30 people he shouted out, you picked the one motherfucker that has the Nazi. The one mother. I mean, I can see if there were like 4 or 5, maybe 6 people, I'd be like, yeah, that's a little bit of a coincidence that all 5 of these people are like neo-Nazi YouTube channels. But you picked the one motherfucker, the one YouTuber who is not even a neo-Nazi YouTube channel. He's just a guy who makes Nazi jokes. And you turn that into, well, he makes these Nazi jokes. First of all, they don't even say he makes Nazi jokes. They just outright say he's a neo-Nazi. That's it. They just go for the jugular. Like I said, they fighting dirty. They don't, they just fighting dirty now. Like, yeah, he's a Nazi, so by default that makes him a Nazi. And it's like guys, like, are you serious? Are you serious? Oh man, I never seen people go so crazy, drive themselves insane trying to make one person look bad. I have seen it quite a bit, but my God, man, for real, media, everybody, Vox, Wall Street Journal, all these fucking scumbags and douches, get off it, please get off it.